Almost 4 years into living life in Turkey, the Iranian government found out where we were. There were several close calls on our lives. One time, they came to my school disguised as Turkish police asking for me. The principal of the school lied for us and called our parents to urgently take me out of the school. My parents knew that we had to leave Turkey, but they didn't know where we should go or how. They had no finances, no connections. And the only place that came to mind was America. Now, my mother really didn't want to raise her daughters in America because at the time, America was seen as a dangerous country filled with immorality, guns, and gangs. One day, an Australian tourist by the name of Margaret visited our church in Turkey. She was also a believer. She got to speaking to the pastor of the church, and she casually asked, "Is there anyone who would like me to sponsor them to come to Australia?" He pointed to us. So darling Margaret went back to Australia and started the process of sponsoring us. About 6 months after, it was time for my dad to go to the Australian embassy in Turkey to prove that our family has enough money to be able to support ourselves in Australia. My parents had nothing. All the hard work they did was only enough to pay the rent and put little food on the table. So they kept on praying and waiting in faith. The night before going to the embassy, my parents got a knock on the door. Scared that this may be the Iranian secret police, they opened the door with trepidation. Instead, they were faced with several families from the church. Confused, they welcomed them in. Mum was embarrassed that she had no biscuits or food to serve them. They assured her that they wanted nothing but to tell them one thing only. They said, "For the past 6 months, since we've known about your Australia sponsorship, our families, along with our children, have been fasting and putting aside money. Here is enough money for you to get to Australia and extra money for Daniel to go to Bible college and start telling the world of what the Lord has done." And that is exactly what happened.